O.S.I perceives all things conjoined. The past, the future, and the present. Everything flows, and all is connected. O.S.I is not merely seeing reality, it is touching the truth.
Alrighty, welcome everybody to the first inaugural episode of the O.S.I podcast, which of course stands for Our Shared Interests podcast, where, you know, me and Nathan hang out and we talk about, of course, our shared interests. Nathan, how's it going, dude?
Dude, it's been great, man. How are you doing?
Man, I've been pretty good recently. I mean, this whole COVID thing, it's looking promising. It's looking like we're coming to the end of it. I'm getting happy. Locked in my room. You know, I live like with random roommates, so they're not like friends.
Oh.
The only person in Waterloo is my girlfriend, so it's been months of loneliness, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but, fair enough. I mean, I'm stuck at home with roommates as well. I mean, my family, my parents and sister.
Roommates, dude.
Yeah.
You mean your family.
I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. But nah, dude,
yeah.
I agree with you totally. Like COVID, it's been far too long. It's been over a year now, and
man, it's been well over a year. We're into June, bro. It's June 5th. How is that possible that we've reached this long, and it's still like just as bad as it has ever been?
I know. Well, hopefully things start opening up. Things are looking good. I'm trying to stay away from the news. Honestly, I hate to be like a pessimist, but I've heard there's like some new variant coming, but there's probably always going to be variants, man. You know, we could talk about
like
COVID.
The Delta variant.
Yeah. We could talk about COVID for forever. They're always bringing up something new or some new thing. I think just as long as everyone is getting vaccinated and, you know, things start opening this summer, people are going to be a little more happier, because these lockdowns, in my opinion, it's not the right play. I mean, it's obviously important to stay safe, but I think there are better ways than affecting people's health, like jobs and everything. But
yeah, I just think like the lockdown, obviously staying safe is very important, and like trying to isolate as much as possible. But I just think the way that the Ontario government did it just wasn't executed properly. I think they had the right idea, just wasn't executed very properly. But, you know, like you said, we could talk about that forever.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want to turn this into a COVID podcast, because everyone's already heard everything that you know there is to be said on it. So
well, yeah, exactly,
no point.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. I think we could have been out. One more thing, obviously, we could have definitely been out of this sooner. But obviously, a lot of things are out of our control. But yeah, definitely the Ontario government. No kudos to them for it. But anyways, let's
absolutely not.
Let's move on, because
we're here to talk about and distract people from this shit, and this is
exactly.
So we don't want to talk about that for too long, but yeah, no, life's been interesting. It's been good, you know. I've been on the job hunt recently because
you're done school now. Yeah, graduated.
Dude, I'm done.
You're done. You're done.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Honestly, it actually 4 years has gone by extremely fast for me personally. I feel like it has. Like I still remember like the first day that I went to school for like Frosh Week in university, and it still feels like such a short while ago. Like I completely it just doesn't feel like 4.5 years now.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy that like I'm never gonna have another assignment due. I'm never gonna have a teacher that I need to email last minute because I was too lazy to do my thing on time. Like, man, it's over. School forever, and I'm absolutely not going back for a master's degree.
Really? You never know.
There's no way.
Don't leave it out of the
question.
Don't leave it out of the equation. You never know. Maybe down the line, a few years from now.
I just want to avoid every possible path in my life that would bring me back to school. I want to do everything that I can in my power to avoid that.
Well, if you don't have to, you don't need to. But obviously, if you want to someday, don't just write it off, because you never know.
It's also just it's also the money too, though. Like,
it is a crazy investment, you know. Also, especially when you're like young and working. Like, for me, like I know that like my parents, like, they, like, paid completely for my undergrad. Like, I'm not done yet, but for
Mm-hmm.
post grad, they said, like, yeah, like, by the time, like, you want to do that, probably, like, you're not gonna need our support, or, like, you're just gonna be, like, too old to, like,
Yeah,
ask us
exactly.
for to pay your tuition. And, like, that'll be something that I decide later on. But for now, yeah, I'm not even done school yet. I still have an extra
Yeah.
year, unlike you. You're finished, but yeah, I've got one more year, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm not even thinking about that at the moment.
Well, our let's think about that for a second. Um, are you going to France? Is that a thing still? Like,
Okay, yeah. So, um, basically, for obviously people that don't know, I'm supposed to actually be in France. I was supposed to be in France since like 2020, start
mm-hmm.
of 2020, and obviously with the pandemic, that didn't go to plan, and I've kind of been stuck doing school online, but from a school in France. So it's been a little
Yeah.
bit annoying, but actually things are looking good. So recently we had a meeting with the program, and they've actually told us that we can go this fall as long as we have like private insurance. So good news,
Right.
actually, my insurance does cover me for the requirements that they need, which one of them is obviously COVID-19 related medical emergencies and trip
That's plus.
cancellations, which is
Yeah.
good. And but it needs to be private, because I know that a lot of universities, I'm sure yours did, but mine for sure, York University, like you can pay like an extra fee of like $200-300 per semester, I think, and you
Mm-hmm.
get like the school's insurance, and that covers things like dental and like I don't know, anything like health related, and like it's like a little bit of insurance, but they require that you get a private one for this. Obviously, I think it's because they don't really want to be liable for
Yeah.
anyone with like COVID related things. No, yeah, the COVID thing is good. Like the COVID insurance, the university doesn't want to be liable, so that's why they want the mandatory private insurance from like a third party, which is
Yeah.
hopefully like possible. I know that I'm covered, which is good, but hopefully like other people can. And I think they're gonna see out of like 20 or so students whether or not there's like
Mm-hmm.
some like consensus, because I know they told us to send emails to them, and like they want to know whether or not like you are actually feel okay with going to France, because during the Zoom meeting there were a couple like people who were like, oh, I don't feel comfortable. Fair enough,
Yeah.
there's still a
Yeah.
pandemic, and they want us to go in August, end of August, and like there's no guarantee that
Oh, that's
everyone would
soon.
be vaccinated. They don't require you to be vaccinated to travel, neither does any universities, but
Mm-hmm.
like I think that a lot of people still might feel uncomfortable traveling. Like I don't personally, like if I get one dose, I feel like I'd be fine. Like I really want to travel regardless, but
Yeah.
obviously it's a case by case thing. So we'll see. I'm really hoping. If not, I don't know what's going to happen. Probably another online semester, but for now,
Man.
just looking, obviously hoping to go to France at least once.
Let's hope it's not another online semester. Like, dude, like my fourth year, and I mean yours too. Everybody's fourth year, dude, ruined.
Yeah, totally.
I was so looking forward
Do you even get a
to fourth
graduation this
year.
year? Is Waterloo doing like an outdoor commencement?
No, no, it's the same thing as it was last year. Just like, go to some online, freaking, like, presentation, I guess, and you'll probably watch your name scroll by as like credits. Just be like, "That's who graduated. Yo, grats, your name's there. You did it." Like, man, come on.
Man,
Like that's what it was for my brother.
That's
Yeah,
actually terrible.
no, it's stupid. My brother last year, he graduated from Ryerson, and that's exactly what it was. We sat at home,
And
and
like
we
watch
watched
his
his name
name
scroll
roll
by
like
on
in
the
the
TV.
credits, like a credits
Yeah,
reel.
that was it.
Oh,
We were like,
man.
there it is. My mom took a picture, and that's that.
University experience has low key been ruined. High key, low key. I mean,
Bro,
what
it's
can
just
we do
it's
about it?
terrible.
But like, no, the school that I go to in France, Lyon, obviously, I go to York University and Lyon.
Mhm.
I'm a student at both, but they're like well known in France for like doing like collaborations with like companies there in Europe, and like being
Yeah.
like sending their students out and like working and stuff, and like doing like collaborations and cool like projects like as like a community
Mhm.
and stuff, and like literally learning online and trying to do group work online 100%. Yeah, mind you, 100% of my schoolwork was group work. Like every single thing,
Yeah,
there'd be
same.
100% like would be like some courses would be like a project or like 50% group project and then 50% exam, and like just doing it online, especially for us that were in Canada, and then having to work with people in Europe and like Africa or like Dubai, I don't even know, but all these random different countries was the most annoying thing ever. Like people would be like, "Oh, I want to work at 10 a.m. Netherlands time," and like that's what, like 6 a.m. Canada time.
Yeah.
And regardless, I would have to
Eastern
wake up
time.
at 6 a.m. for class. So it was just this like huge annoyance. And like I told you earlier that like my exams were like scheduled for like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I know you had some issues with the time zone difference.
Yeah.
Because France is what, like 6 hours ahead of us?
Yeah, 6 hours ahead. And like
So to them, a normal class
like
at
8,
like 1
9
a.m.
a.m. Yeah, even
That's
1 a.m.
like 7 a.m. here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's like so that I don't know. It was so annoying, especially for exams when you'd have to wake up at like 5:30, even like earlier 5 a.m. to do even a 6 a.m. exam. Finally, because we complained and they moved the exams, they moved them from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. But like
Still.
it's still really really difficult.
The thing that's stupid though is like, bruh, it's online. Why does it need to be at a specific time? Like, I understand if they want to do it on a specific date where like between midnight and the next midnight, do it whenever you can because it's online and it doesn't matter. And there's there's a ton of different time zones. Like, what? Why not just do it like that? Like, what?
Yeah,
What's stopping
no,
you?
I think
you're still doing it. It's not has nothing to do with like cheating or anything. Like, nope. It's not like teachers are live proctoring the exams. There's no way. They're definitely, if there's a camera on you, it's recording, and then they go back through the recording.
Exactly, and there's definitely they could have done more. I think it's just the way that school operates there. I'm obviously like not familiar. I've never even been like I haven't lived in France yet, even though I go to school there. Like the way they operate things is a little different, and like a lot of the teachers really don't care. It's like a very different like schooling system, and I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's more of just like the teachers aren't as like accommodating, I guess. Like they don't really care about their students, and like if you have a problem, you have to talk to the administration, and it's not like they're gonna sort something out for you because they don't care. It's just about
if they even get back to you on your freaking email.
Exactly, and like they don't reply and stuff, and it's just a really different like school system in general. There's a lot of differences, and like one of them is that they're not very accommodating, and if you have a problem, well, like too bad, like because it's not like it doesn't matter about the the individual. It just matters about the collective. So like they just literally are just kind of like there to teach, and then they just get out. It's kind of like a little bit annoying, but it's different.
No, like it's the same thing here though. Is like, bro, teachers will tell you like, I'm here to help you succeed. I want to see you do good. I want to make sure that you're getting good grades, and they act like they care. But then when it comes down to it and you send them an email being like, hey, I have a concern, they'll just be like, read the syllabus.
Exactly.
Like, man,
I know, yeah.
It's a simple like yes or no question. All you got to do is say yes or no. Why? Like, what? I thought you wanted to help me succeed.
Yeah. Like, I mean, giving them the benefit of the doubt, like they are busy too, but I don't know. I think things could be a little like especially during COVID. Like there's a lot of different cases for different people. Some people are like in different housing situations or like have like other issues, and it's like it's difficult, like, and I think that like there's a lot of instances where like teachers have been like super like unaccommodating. Like I know that I remember like a few months ago do you remember that story that came out of York University, like the school that I go to, about that teacher that literally there was that guy in Myanmar, I think that's the country, and like Myanmar or Myanmar, I don't even know how to pronounce it. But literally there's a civil war, and like they blacked out the internet, and he couldn't do an exam, and the teacher was like complaining to him.
He was like, too bad.
And he was like, too bad.
Shouldn't have lived there.
He doesn't have a choice. And especially with York University too, with the largest like international student body, I think in Canada, or one of them. Man, that's so messed. But like COVID has definitely really like shaken things up for school. I still have a year left, and I definitely, if I have the choice, I will go in person. I will fly to France.
Oh, 100%. Like, bro, because by the end of the summer, 100%, I'll have the second vaccine 100% because my appointment is for August 21st.
Yeah.
But they're saying like you can move that up starting July 19th or something. So, by the end of the summer, I'll have it.
I think everyone should have them. I know that
Yeah.
my first appointment is in about a week and a half, but like regardless,
really?
I'll probably still get mine in end of August. I'd say because it said they can do it from. It moved from 16 weeks to like a minimum of I think like 3 or 4 weeks. So it's only like a month in between the doses, which is better. And then 2-dose summer, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And like if I have both my doses, man, and someone else doesn't want it and I'm in class with them, like, man, I don't care. I'm safe. I trust the vaccines. I don't know if that's ignorant for me to say or naive for me to say, but I trust them, bro. Science. Think about how long science has been around and how long vaccines have been around. Like, I know it was super rushed and it's not like FDA approved or something, but
I don't want to get into
honestly,
the vax stuff because
like,
it can get pretty like political and stuff, and like
a
lot of people have strong opinions about like choice and stuff, and then also like discrimination. But like honestly, once you yourself have it, I don't think you should be like too worried. To be honest, do what you want to do, as long and like don't worry about what other people are doing or not doing, because like then you're just gonna create more problems. To be honest, like when you have it, do it for yourself, and then enjoy your own life. And if people want to or don't want to, just like focus on yourself and don't even worry about what they're doing. To be honest.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, I'm with you. If I have the vaccine, bro, I'm going in class straight up. I'm not doing.
Oh, I'm doing more than going to class. I'm traveling
online.
I'm going out.
Yeah.
I'm going to the mall.
Exactly.
I'm doing whatever I want. It's been so long.
I'm going to the club, dude.
It's been too long. I even forget what going to a mall is like. Like when they open retail, I'm gonna go to the Eaton Center. I'm just gonna go like walk down, cause like I actually like miss that stuff. Like those like random things that you just be like too lazy to do before COVID.
Yeah.
Or like didn't have a purpose, but now like you might as well just do everything, cause you never know when the next lockdown's coming.
Dude,
man,
you never know when the wrong guy is gonna eat the wrong thing on the other side of the world and create this, dude. Like, holy crap, it's crazy to think about. But yeah, like you said, we're not here to talk about COVID. But
no, let's get back. Let's get back to the school.
Yeah,
thing,
let's get back to France.
Yeah,
Well, I had a question. I was gonna ask something.
No, why? You know
something
what?
About you going to France.
Well, why don't we let's just put that to the back burner for a second. Why don't we like talk about like what you did in school, like what your degree was? Because like this is the first episode. We kind of just jumped in, but like we gotta kind of explain, what exactly we're talking about. Because we talk about university, like they know you went to Waterloo, they kind of know I went to York, and I'm going to another school. But like, what exactly are you doing? Like, let's start. Like, I don't know. Let's throw it back. Like grade 12. Grade 12. Grade 12.
Oh my god. Grade 12.
You accepted your offer. So what did you accept your offer for? What did you accept your offer for?
I accepted. When did I?
What did you accept it for?
Oh, what did I? No. Get this. Okay, so I accepted my offer at the University of Waterloo for Global Business and Digital Arts. But get this, dude. I was accepted into the U of T Mississauga for like communication, something. I think it was like CCIT, something like that. And that was like, you were there when I got that email. I remember being in English class and getting that email and being like, yo, I'm going to university. Holy crap. But I didn't really care to go there because I was really dead set on going to Ryerson. And no offense to Ryerson, anybody that goes there, thank God that I didn't. Getting out of the city and making like new friends and experiencing a new city, even though it's just Waterloo, which is like, there's not really much special to it. It was still great to just like get out, because if I went to Ryerson, I would have been living with my family. I wouldn't have been living on my own, which, I mean, maybe like second and third year, but I wouldn't have gotten the residence experience, which was like super key, just in general in terms of enjoying my university experience. But I didn't care about the U of T acceptance thing because I was really dead set on Ryerson, which I never got into because I suck. But I did get into Waterloo. But I got the acceptance letter like a week before the final deadline of accepting it. Like, I think the final deadline was like June like 1st or something, and I think I literally got it like May 20th. It was like right at the end.
Really? So you like barely any time to make that decision?
Yeah, and I was, I was still planning on going, I think, to Mississauga because I didn't want to go to Waterloo. I was very young and didn't really want to leave the city that obviously like where all my friends are and where I grew up and stuff and what I was familiar with. Even though like Mississauga is still out of Toronto, it's still, closer. It's not an hour to an hour and a half drive away. But dude, Waterloo did a really good job of convincing me. They started sending me like handwritten letters. They started sending me like notebooks and stuff, and I was like, dude, I want to go here.
I almost went to Waterloo as well. They're good with their like enticing, with like the sending the stuff. But no, like that's awesome. Like, because for me, obviously, like I was like dead set on moving out of the city as well. And I was like, 100%. I'm going to university outside of Toronto. Like I need to like go live away and like enjoy that university experience.
100%.
And like that completely like randomly out of nowhere changed like when I went to the Ontario University Fair at the convention center, and like I was just going around, and there was this booth that was like dual degree program, business, international studies, like opportunity to study in French. And I was like, okay, like what is this? Because I just visited the Waterloo and Laurier booths for their like business schools and like their accounting programs, and I was like, okay, you know what, like this is for me. Like I'm pretty like set. I'll apply to a few other places, but for now, those are my two main options.
Yeah.
And I just walk by and I'm like looking at it because it's interesting, and suddenly like four girls just run up to me from the booth, and they're just like, oh, like, do you speak French? Like, are you in French immersion? If so, come here. And I was like, I am in French immersion. And they come and they like start promoting this new program to me. They're talking about this pilot program, this new dual degree in partnership with a school in France that you get to go for 2 years in France, and you stay 2 years at York, and you get 2 degrees in 5 years. And I was like, what? Like, what is this? Like, this is insane, right? And I was like, business degree, okay, that's what I wanted to do. And then some other international studies degree I didn't really know much about. It's 2 degrees regardless. And they really sold it to me. So I was like, okay, you know what, this is pretty interesting. So I like took their flyer, and like I ended up enrolling in that program to my surprise, staying at York University. But no, it's weird how like plans change, because like I really wanted to move out, but in the end I decided to stay at York University for 2 years.
You know what's crazy too is that obviously like going to Waterloo was a very big blessing, because I'm so happy that I did. I had a great experience. But another thing that was very similar was LIT, which, for those who don't know, that's like the leadership and training program at the camp that me and Nathan used to go to. What's it called? I really didn't want to go. Like, I was like, I know that I don't want to be a leader. I don't want to look after 6 kids on my own, 6 little brats on my own, up north. Like, camp was already, like, when I was young, I really hated camping. I'm still not sold on it, to be 100% honest, but I'm coming. I'm slowly cuddling up to it, you know.
I'm similar on that, you know, like, I always tell people that I like the outdoors in like small doses, like in small 100%. Doses, but I can't be out there for like longer. Like even a week would be tough for me. I don't know. Like I just love the city life, and like the outdoors life. It's fun, and like
it's fun for a while when you go with friends, and it's like
it's fun, and I'm not like incapable. Like I've done enough outdoors camping and other trips to like have like a pretty good understanding of like, I don't know, like doing like anything outdoorsy. But no, for me, I need to come back to the city and just like recharge after like being out in the wilderness for a while, but like no longer than like a few days for me now. I'm just too set in my ways in my in the city life.
No, I agree, honestly, but like camp, because the camp that we went to wasn't like pitch your tents and make your own food. It was just kind of like go hang out, but it's also like up north in Muskoka. But I never really liked that. The only real it was a lot of fun every time I went, but I was not as good at making friends then as I am now. So I really didn't want to go unless I knew somebody who was going. The only reason I would go normally as like a camper was because I would go with my cousin Connor. Shouts to Connor. We'd always go together, and that was like so much fun. We'd be in the same cabin. So much fun. But then LIT was like, Connor's not going to go there because he's a year younger than me. And it was like all the same age. So you couldn't really like, anyways. He wasn't going to go. So I was like, dude, I'm going on my own. I don't want to do this. I already don't like going out camping. I don't want to go on my own. Why am I doing this? It's just crazy because that's where like you and I met. I mean, we went to high school together, but dude, that was
I think that's where like we like started getting like really close.
Yeah, friends. That's where you and I like became friends.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And like think about how good of friends we are, and if I just made that decision to not go, how different. Well, we wouldn't be here recording this podcast right now, and all of those like, man, the years of friendship like gone.
No, exactly.
It's like, crazy.
The same for me. Honestly, like LIT and like camp in general, especially, was like mainly like my parents' decision. Like they wanted me to go, and like I kind of went along with it. I didn't not enjoy the camp experience, but I was pretty reluctant to do LIT as well because I was like, okay, I know some people going, but I don't. It's not really for me. But in the end, like it turned out great, and like I met a lot of people, and especially like with you, and like we like got so close, and like it was honestly a good time in the end. And I think like
it was so
much fun. But like
it was just frustrating because it could have been so much better because of our the stupid director that was there was just like the year before us.
Well, the year before us was like really they were inappropriate. Bad. Like they
were way over the line. Like they were getting caught like sucking and anyways, you can only imagine what they were doing.
No, they really pushed the abstinence agenda with us. They pushed it. They pushed that.
They pushed it hard, bro. We couldn't.
It was
give
segregation.
Girls a hug.
It was discrimination. It was segregation. It was
dude, it basically was. But dude, they literally tried so hard to do everything in their power to like focus on making sure the guys and the girls were not anywhere near each other. It was terrible.
It was, and like I don't even know why they thought it would be a good idea. But like, I want to know I know that there are a couple guys and like, good on them for always going back and like being dedicated to it. But like I know that you and we never went back as full leaders. And
I went back as a full leader one time, absolutely hated it. But that's not the only reason that I don't go back there. Like, there's those whole like Christian political bullshit that
there was a lot of political stuff, but then also for me, I think also the training experience really like kind of like turned me off just because like how like it was just like we literally didn't interact with the like other gender, and I'm not saying that's like important, but like there was like,
but it was still like limiting,
like even half the group that we like didn't even know. And like I thought like, and to me I thought it was going to be like this thing where like everyone's interacting, but in reality they just kind of ruined it by making it like super, I guess, learning based, and like there wasn't like really much like socializing or like free time to do anything because they were worried that something was going to happen.
Because the thing is like, I'm not saying I was going there looking for a girlfriend, but like, dude, they put so much emphasis on keeping us apart that it impeded on the leader's good time and our good time, because so much it was just drilled into our brain. Do not go near the other gender. Like, oh my goodness, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let us just like have some rules. Obviously, you don't want people hooking up at a Christian camp. I get that, but like, dude, you're getting in the like it's a little much. Yeah, let us live our lives.
It's definitely definitely a lot. But like going back, like relating this to school, like regardless of the experience with that, I still say like it was an overall like a really like good time.
Oh yeah,
and like
100%.
I think that like it was honestly a really fun summer. But like back to like for me personally, like with school, like like you're like set on the schools you want, but with like the program that I chose in the end, like it's just you never know, and like kind of when you just like jump into something, you never know exactly what's gonna happen, but then it turns out to be like pretty good. I'm not saying that my school experience was the best. there's a lot of
Yeah.
things that could be better about it. But I'm just like in general, like you never really know.
Yeah.
Like it's until you like are in
Yeah,
like
bro, go
immersed in
outside
it
your
or
comfort
try
zone.
exactly right. Because like I was so set on like doing something or going to a certain school or something, but in the end, like it turned out really good. Like here I am 1 year from graduating, and overall I've enjoyed the schooling experience. I hope that I can really do it in Europe because that was the point of me enrolling. But honestly, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, that'd be blessed if you can go to France, because yeah, like you said, that's the whole point of you enrolling. You wanted to go and like experience a new culture, and like France is so different than Canada, like so different.
Oh yeah, it's 100% different. There's so much, and like Europe as a whole is like this like I don't know. It's just this place that you can like explore like so many countries in such a short time because everything's so close together. Unlike Canada, like
Yeah.
last year I moved to Edmonton for an internship, and like even doing that was such like a hard like thing to like put together and plan, and so far away. Like I was like 2,000 kilometers away from home.
Yeah, because there's nothing like in between. There's only like a few major cities worth visiting in Canada, and they're so far apart. Like Montreal and Toronto, that's like pretty good.
It's like a
And
six
but
and a
that-
half hour train.
That's a great, yeah, that's a great viable option for, yo, let's vacation to Montreal. Like we did that, and that was so much fun.
It was.
But
But it's not.
it's like,
it's not as
where
like
else are you gonna go?
exactly. And like with Europe, like you can
Like-
literally go to a different country and like experience an entirely new culture on
Yeah.
like a one even like 2 hour like train or like a bus. You could even probably
Yeah.
like certain cases if you're like close to like a border, you could just probably like, walk over or something. But like
Yeah,
in Canada, no, it's just it's too
Nah,
big
bro,
and
you're-
it's too big and there's like
there's not enough stuff in
yeah.
between.
Honestly, I don't think
'Cause,
I'll
like,
ever
yeah,
be
like-
able to explore like all of Well, of course not, but like
Oh my god, all of Canada,
every single square mile.
dude, that'd be insane.
But yeah, hopefully this
No,
fall. Hopefully this fall. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Europe is so blessed because, like, literally, like you said, every country, like, they're not super big, like the States or like Canada. They're all kind of small, and what's it called? And each country is kind of worth visiting.
Oh, 100% for their own reasons. Like there
Yeah,
isn't
like-
like any reason why you wouldn't go to a country, to be honest,
Yeah.
because they all are like different. There's
Yeah,
something
exactly. You
like
got-
new that you need to like go and see.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you go to France, bro, you can literally just hop over to Spain if you wanted to, bro. Spain is sick. I've never been, but it looks sick.
Oh.
You go to the UK if you
Yeah.
wanted to. You could go to Scandinavia, you know, Sweden, Norway, go into the mountains. Ooh, baby, you could go down to Italy, maybe get some pizza
Exactly.
pasta.
And like those are just the
Dude.
mainstream ones. Like Central and Eastern
Yeah.
Europe, there's very underrated. And like there's so much to do. There's just so much like culture and just like
Go to
landscape.
Amsterdam, dude.
There's so much to do in Europe, and honestly, that's the reason why I joined this program. And I'll be
Yeah.
pretty upset if I never get to go, but then honestly eventually I'll just end up going and traveling. But it'd be better to, like have a real excuse to be there than just traveling.
Yeah, because traveling is just like, you just kind of diddle around like when you're there and you don't really like do anything. I feel like when you're visiting, you're not really experiencing the culture because you're not like in it. You're just like either going to visit some tourist attraction, or you're in your hotel room, or you're like going out for dinner or something. It's not like you're going to school where you're walking the streets every day, you're taking the subway, you're going to these, you're not always going to go to these massive, like amazing restaurants. You're maybe going to, go to like a corner store or something and see the culture that's there. I mean, I don't know not that there's much culture to be at a corner store, but you know what I mean.
No,
Like,
there's
those
something
small little
exactly.
things
There's always something
that you
different.
don't do on vacation.
Yeah, there's something always different, and like that's
Yeah.
that's hopefully I'll be able to experience that hopefully in the fall. But honestly, like regardless, this is kind of like my last chance. Hope maybe next year, but I end school on like a work term, so
Yeah.
like this is really my last opportunity to like be there for like a legitimate reason, other than if I somehow work there. But honestly, things I'm just taking things one day at a time, because like right now everything's so unpredictable, and you never
Yeah,
know what's gonna
of course.
happen. To be honest, but I
Well,
want
there could be something new coming out.
yeah,
like,
exactly. I don't even
like,
want to think
at this
about
point.
that.
At this point, you don't know.
Exactly.
Dude, my program actually had an abroad.
Yeah, really. They
option.
had like an exchange option.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a hypocrite based on what I just said about wanting to go there for like France, for example, for school, because you can really dive in and experience the actual culture of living there. That's like the whole reason I didn't. Well, that's not the reason, but the reason I didn't do abroad was because I was like, honestly, I don't really want to fly across the world just to do school and like be there for an entire semester. I don't know, but it was like I don't want to go to a country that I want to visit and experience of having fun and do school there and be like inside doing school. Like,
Yeah,
no, I want a
sure.
vacation there. I want to be able to experience the way I want to experience. But I know a lot of people went and did abroad and like absolutely loved it. So
No, that's fair. And like I think I saw like a couple people in your program who like did do an abroad semester. Maybe they just went for fun, but like they went down to like Australia and New Zealand around there maybe.
yeah,
But like that looked really interesting, and I've always wanted to go to that part of the world. But to be honest, like I always say, like if you have an opportunity to go on exchange, like if you're like comfortable enough, because it's obviously a huge commitment for like many things,
Yeah.
like I say take it, because like honestly that experience is like it could be life changing. And like for me, I think it's like that's the worst thing that I like dislike about my program, is that like obviously it's out of my
that was
control,
the whole reason.
but like the whole point of me being at this in this program was literally to go on exchange for 2 years, and like that hasn't gone to plan. But I can't keep complaining about it. You know, like there's so much more to university than just the exchange.
Yeah.
But like
But you had a good time though, chilling in Toronto still.
yeah, and like I didn't even like stay at home, to be honest. My parents were nice enough to allow me to live on
You
res.
joined a
at York.
frat, dude.
That was like
Dude,
way
you never
later.
would've
That was
joined
like
that if
way
you went to
later
if
into
you went to
my
France.
university life. But
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was way later.
Yeah.
But you never would have. Would you have given that up, experiencing going and like being in a frat and actually experiencing it as a brother? Would you have given that up for going to France when you were supposed to?
honestly, like joining the frat was like pretty like circumstantial for reasons that I won't get
Yeah.
into. But like for like
Right.
little bit of personal reasons. I just come
yeah.
out of like a pretty long term like relationship, and
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like figuring out like low key like who I was and like what I wanted to do again, and like
Yeah.
it was still in the middle of university, so like it was pretty circumstantial. And I feel like honestly, if I had other things like played out, I probably wouldn't have even known about the frat at all, maybe through a friend's. But like it was a very like circumstantial and like decision to like go through that process
Yeah.
and stuff. But I can just say like it's part of my university experience. Everybody has a different university experience. You know, some people are doing like 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, who knows. People go to post grad.
Yeah.
People might leave, like drop out, you never know. But honestly, yeah, I
Yeah,
wanted
but
to ask you one thing. I wanted to ask like
Uh-huh.
how was your first year experience? Because like for me, I think like that's like one of the most important years, especially the first semester, or even like the
Yeah.
first 2 semesters, to be honest. But like your first year of university, a lot of people either say like it's really hard, like it's really stressful. You know, there's a lot of like late nights, a lot of partying sometimes. I don't know, but I guess it's
Yeah.
different for everyone. But like,
Yeah.
how was your
my-
first year experience?
My first year, thank you for asking. My first year experience was great. It was great. I think it could have been, I mean, man, I say this now. I think it could have been better only because I just think, I don't know. I feel like I could have done more things. But I had a great time. It was my first. I never partied throughout high school. I mean, I went to parties here and there, but I was kind of a loser in high school. I didn't really like. I had a few handful of friends, and that was about it. But and like first year was, what's it called? That was when I really like started to party, and I fell in love with it, dude. I can't get enough of it now.
Can never stop once you start. It's so
Never.
much fun.
You can't, dude. It's like a drug. You can't stop partying. I fiend it. I sit at home itching for the next part. No, that's masked.
Freudian slip.
Just fiending the alk, dude. Fiending the licks.
Well, you know what? Sometimes we do.
Oh my god.
But
Come on, man.
no, I'm kidding.
Don't
I'm
expose
playing
yourself
around.
like that, dude. No, we've actually never drank. That's the thing.
No, you're right.
We would
actually.
never do that.
No, we just
Yeah,
party.
we would never do that.
Live off. We get drunk off the social high. You know, like.
Oh yeah, off life, dude. Life is enough of an experience on its own. You don't need things adding on to it. It's good enough where it is. Honestly.
Exactly, man. No, but honestly,
Probably,
overall, okay, like I want to go through this quick because we've kind of been like just talking a little bit about university and stuff. But I want to do like a 10-point scale of each of your university years and why.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I might be dying.
Oh man, careful! The vaccination doesn't protect you 100%.
Dude, the vaccine, it didn't work on me. I think I got it.
If you get it, you get it, right? Nah.
Dude, I remember when that was a joke at the beginning. You'd cough naturally, and then you'd be like, "Oh my god, I got it."
I remember when we first heard about it, like last year at St. Patrick's Day.
Day kebab.
And we didn't even know the real name of the virus, and then I saw it in an
like,
article, and then I was like, "Dude, it's called COVID-19," and you just thought it was like something like a video game character or something.
Dude, I made my freaking Call of Duty gamer tag COVID-19 because I was like,
we were joking about it.
I didn't realize what it was about to be, bro.
COVID-19. When we first heard it, I remember I was like, that sounds like such a joke. Like, why is it called?
I know,
that?
it was such a funny thing.
But now it ain't a joke.
I was like, yeah. Now it's absolutely not a joke.
Nah, nobody's laughing anymore.
No one's laughing.
But yeah, back to the scale. Okay, let's start with you.
Yeah. What's
first
the scale?
year, 1 to 10. Like 10 being like best year of my life, and then obviously 1 being like, nah, this is terrible. I regret everything. And we'll do it for like your 4 years, my current 4 years, and then yeah, let's go. So
well, okay, am I comparing it to the rest of my life, or am I just comparing the 4 years to themselves?
compare it to like, I don't know. Just think about in terms of your entire life, like where would you like put it, or like just the experiences itself, you know? Because there's things that happen in every year, I'm sure, every school year that might have been awesome or like really shitty. You never know. So like, just base it off that.
First year,
start with first year and then like
like
explain a little bit why, just so that like we understand.
Okay, first year, I'd probably give it, I don't know. I'd give it I give it a solid 8.
An 8? Okay.
I'd give it a solid 8. No, it was good.
An 8.
It was good. I met a lot of people, partied a lot, had a lot of fun. Not too much fun, though. Okay, that's important. The school was fun. I don't remember, like, honestly, most of university, like the classes and stuff, are kind of a blur.
Yeah, but like the experience was like it fun, like going to like a lecture, you know, like sitting with people. I don't know, just not.
Yeah,
not
I made a lot of friends. First year was probably the second best year of all 4, to be honest. Yeah, first year was great. Second year, forgettable. I don't remember for second year at all. I don't remember it. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember the classes that I took. Nothing really eventful happened. I think it's because like second and third year, I lived at the same apartment both years, so those all kind of just blend together.
Yeah.
As being the same time. But second year, I don't know, I give it like I don't even know what I would give it. I don't remember it. I'd give it maybe like a 4. It was so average.
Yeah, but it wasn't like horrible. It was like horrendous.
No, I don't remember it being horrible, but it just wasn't, nothing really happened.
All right.
Nothing really happened. Third year, great.
Really?
Third year was great. Third year was a solid 10.
Wow. Okay, 10 for real.
Nah. It's a 9. It's a 9. You can't be
best
giving
year
out
of your life,
10s like that. No. Easily no. Third year was really great. Mainly because of the amount of partying that I did. I'm a big party animal, I'm not going to lie. Very social person. But it was a lot of fun. There was a point in time when every single weekend, my buddy Jeff would come up to Waterloo and be like, yo, I'm here. Let's just go do something. And we'd always find something to do. And that was so much fun. I met a ton of new people that I still am friends with today. So that was great. Fourth year, 0.
Really? Because of COVID?
Because of COVID.
Yeah.
But aside from COVID, like, the only reason I say 0 is because fourth year would have been so good. It would have been the best year of my entire life if COVID hadn't happened, bro. Like, it was so good. But fourth year was really good. I mean, I still managed to have fun. It was great. It could have been so much better, which sucked.
Yeah, and you graduated. At least you didn't have to take like an extra
I graduated. Year. I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm gonna probably live out the fourth year that I should have lived next year, because I have like friends like you and like Connor are still in university, still got one more year, and he's at Guelph. So like,
you have an excuse to go around.
I'm reaching every weekend, bro. We're hitting the clubs hard, dude.
At the Guelph clubs.
Dude, the Guelph clubs are greasy. I've been to one. Oh my god, they're greasy.
But that's the fun about the outside the city university life. There's like just the most random 100%. Places that would be like bang average in the city, or like, but they're like the most lit
there's nowhere
spot
else to go.
Because they're just all like people your age. Just so much fun.
Yeah,
just crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, because the like the U of T and like Ryerson, like the campuses are just downtown Toronto. It's not got like its own campus, and it's not got its own like student nightlife or just like student life in general, because it's just a city. Like it's a bustling city.
I mean, there are some great clubs in Toronto, and we've had our fair share of fun times.
The best.
But like, honestly, I think the best
into, like,
experience
40-year-olds.
Yeah, the
clubs.
Best experiences are outside, where it's like a few clubs and like everyone's just crowded there because it's like a tiny town or something. And it's a big university. I bet that's so much fun.
The thing too is like, in Toronto, like you live with your parents. If I was in Toronto, I would be living with my parents too, and I feel like that's why going outside the city is nice, because my parents, at least my mom, gets like pretty, like what's it called? She gets kind of like nervous when I'm out super late.
Oh yeah, like when you're like
so
when you go out and then
be
they
like
text
midnight.
you, you know, like where you're.
Yeah, it'll be midnight, and I'll be getting texts like, "Yo, when are you coming home? Are you safe? Blah blah blah."
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, I appreciate the love, but I'm trying to focus here. I'm trying to hang out with my friends, but like, and then it's like, oh, now I gotta like, it's like 3 a.m. Now I need to go home, sneak into my house, and then I know the next morning I'm gonna wake up and my parents like be like, not pissed at me, but like, so thanks for waking me up at 3 a.m. I was like, man, come on, let me live.
I know it's a little bit of a struggle,
21.
But when you do it enough, I guess mine just are used to it because I'm coming in so late all the time. But no, honestly, that's pretty like optimistic scale you got there for those 4 years.
No, they were a lot of fun. I mean, like before university, I wasn't really like living. You know what I mean? It was kind of like you don't really do much in public school. In like,
I mean, like,
I don't know.
I felt like I went to a lot of parties. I think I started partying.
I mean, you did, but like,
early, but
you're not living your life.
Yeah,
really.
No.
Like, I don't know. You're not living on your own. You're kind of hanging out with the same people every day, going to school. It's like a job. It's like a mind-numbing job going to freaking elementary school.
Yeah,
or not elementary school, but just like public school.
No, that's fair. Yeah, I think honestly, yeah, but I think for me, honestly, like my scale.
Yeah, what would you rate your years?
My scale is a little like, I don't know. Like I'd love to like be positive about it, but there are a few positives. But I'm gonna be honest. Like my university, like I went to a very small university, 3,500. I went to like a Glendon College, which is like a campus for York, but it's like a small campus, and there's only like 3,500 students. And like, to be honest, I didn't really like get that experience of like meeting like tons of people. Like I did meet a lot of people, but I wouldn't say that I like still talk to them now. I talk to like a very small amount, and that's it really. Other than that, I just know that a lot of people go there.
Well, your program was so small.
Yeah, my program, like when I first started, it was like 13, and then after second year I moved down to like a different year, and there's only 10, and I'm currently still the only guy in my program. So like it's a little bit difficult. It was a little bit difficult for me, you know, like I said, like joining the frat was also like, there's a reason, like I literally didn't have any guy friends. And that's not like by like choice. I mean, most of it, but I won't get into that stuff. But like, it's literally
Yeah, you ain't gotta get into
it's
that.
literally just it just is what it is. But for first year, okay,
Yeah.
for first year, like it was interesting. Like I think I had a lot of fun. I don't really regret anything that I did. There was obviously some bad, some good, and overall the school was pretty interesting. I'd say I got to live in residence, which was cool, and
Yeah.
that was a fun time, I'd say. But York also at the end of first year they had a strike, so we didn't actually finish our school. We had a year. We had like we stopped in March and then it went to July, the strike.
Mhm.
So that really put like a weird delay on things.
Oh yeah, you had that weird strike.
Yeah,
that
and like we were
happened.
like waiting in limbo, like in the summer in like June, July. Like, are we gonna have to go back to class? Are we gonna have to write exams?
Yeah.
We didn't know what was gonna happen. Overall, that year was like a very turbulent year. I'd say it kind of calmed down afterwards, but I'd say there was like it was pretty dramatic. And one thing I didn't like about Glendon and York in general was like I found like a lot of the people were very dramatic, and
Yeah.
I couldn't personally like I just couldn't stand it. And
Yeah.
I mean whatever, it's in the past, but like
It
it
is
was a
what it
very
is.
dramatic first year, and I'd say I'd probably honestly I'd give it like a 5. It's a bad rating, but a 5
Yeah,
is like
well-
being like really good for my standards, like for what
Yeah.
happened. And
Yeah.
yeah, to be honest, it was okay. And I'm trying to think like, cause like it just feels it, even though it wasn't long ago, like with you, like second and third year was very blurred for me. Maybe
Yeah.
the strike was in the second year. I'm tripping out. Like I completely forget.
I think the strike.
Was it in?
I think it was in second year.
Okay,
I think
so
so.
it was in second. It was either in second year or it was the
think.
end of first, and then I had to take because regardless, I had to take a third year, and that third year
Mhm.
was like just like BS, complete BS. I took one course each semester, and I didn't even go to class for because I didn't need to. But
Well, yeah, because you were under the assumption that the France thing was going to work.
yeah,
out.
so we were supposed to go to France at the end of second year, which would be 2018, 2019. And like back to the ratings, second year was like pretty bang average, I'd say. There wasn't as much drama, and like it was just pretty much class. And then I think it was the strike. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
It doesn't even really matter, but there was a strike, and I had to take, I guess like I worked, I had to take a second, I had to take a year, like an extra year, but I also tore like my knee, literally it was like dangling. I think that was that year.
Oh
The
my.
second year.
I,
And I like
oh yeah, I remember
yeah, and I
that.
had to like get surgery, and then I had to like and it
Yeah.
was like a crazy tear. I like tore like most of my ligaments in my right knee from playing soccer, and like I
yeah, you were
literally-
just like playing, and then your cleat caught in
yeah,
the grass,
yeah.
and you just.
I was
went for a
literally
tumble.
running, yeah, and my foot planted, and like that's like the worst injury I've ever had, and that took a really long chunk out of my life. Like I was on crutches for like 5 months, and doing like
I remember
therapy,
that.
and like I was still living on residence, which was crazy, and I was working at the gym at my school, and I would have like 6 a.m. shifts, and it was crazy because I would literally go down the stairs on crutches, these giant stairs
Yeah.
they have at Glendon because it's in the valley, and like I would go down at like 5:30 a.m. by myself on crutches. Like I was insane. I was a madman. I don't know why I did that,
Dude,
but like
if you fall, you're done.
honestly, like I had like a pretty decent second year. Other than that injury, like I partied a lot. I remember that I had fun. I came and visited you. We went to St. Patty's, although it was
Yeah.
a little dramatic, of course.
Of course,
But
as always.
But honestly, it wasn't too bad. I'd give it honestly. Second year, it was like probably like 6.5. It's decent 6.5, 7. And
Second year was better than
second
first
year was better than first year, 100%. And
and then
strike
And then third
year,
year happened.
what happened in between second and strike year, which is the year that I took just literally 2 courses over an entire 8-month period. Well, I joined a frat. I joined a frat, and then I also kind of just was like in this state where like I was transitioning. Like I literally had to kind of low key like restart my life, figure out like who
because
my
that was the
friends
summer
were.
that
Yeah,
that
that
all
was the
that
summer.
happened, right?
Yeah, that was like a pretty rough summer for me, I'd
Yeah.
say. Like it was hard on me, and like
Yeah.
I really like fell into this like state of like, oh, like what am I even doing? Like I don't even know what I want to do. But then I like joined the
Yeah.
frat, and like that was really fun. And I know we partied a lot. I wouldn't say
Oh,
responsibly, like for health and finances, very
Oh,
irresponsibly.
dude.
I
Yeah.
I never spent that much money in like a 4 month period, September to like December, than I ever had in my life.
That was a great
It
summer.
was
I
it was
think
a
that
great
summer
summer. It was a great fall and winter before COVID. This was
Yeah.
2019, so this was before COVID, and like
Yeah.
that, those like 4 or 5 months leading up to COVID were honestly like crazy fun,
Yeah.
but like terrible for like my like bank account and terrible for like my
Yeah.
health. Like I think honestly I caught COVID in November. To be honest, like I know it wasn't around in Canada or wasn't even existing,
I mean, it might have been.
but like that was the last time that I was like deathly ill, because like I was just
Well, that-
I was like up 3 times a week just clubbing.
Yeah.
And like it was just a horrible
Yeah, bro.
lifestyle.
Oh my god.
And like
But it was fun.
It was fun,
though, dude.
and yeah,
Dude,
it was-
summer of 2019 was like was my best summer of my
summer of
entire
2019
life,
was
bro.
like pretty standard for me. Like I just worked an internship, and like I didn't bother. And then that was the last time I went to like a music festival, and that was fun, also dramatic, but really fun.
Also, that was about as bad as it gets.
Yeah, but like overall,
I wasn't there, but-
overall, third year, part-time student, crazy like partying and stuff. I'm gonna give it like a 6, because like it was fun, but
What are you rating the summer or are you rating the year?
the whole year overall, like a 6.5. I'll be positive, 6.5, 7. To be honest, like it was about as good as second year, maybe even better. But like like I was just not in like a really good state of mind, so like I wouldn't say that I was like happy, but like I was enjoying like my life. And then like COVID hit the second half of that school year, and like I just did one course online. It didn't really like matter that much, or like it was kind of online, kind of not, because like Canada didn't really go into lockdown until like April or May of that year of 2020.
Yeah.
And so like that's why I give it a 7. It was honestly pretty, like it was probably like the best year like of school if you call it, for me. And my current year that I just finished, fourth year, it was fine, you know. Like I started at the school in France, and for me, like it was like kind of bummy because like we were literally doing school in France online. I moved to Edmonton for an internship. That was crazy. I've never lived away from like home that far, especially in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And like that was a fun experience. I got to see like the mountains and stuff. That was a great time. And like to be honest,
was it a great time?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Even your roommates.
You know what? You beggars can't be choosers. I didn't even pick them, so like I can't like it was bad, but like whatever. I made the most of it, and like honestly, that 2020 summer was like wasn't bad. Like there was a lot of partying and stuff, but like overall that year, the and then the school year as well, the fourth year, was like pretty good. I'd say honestly, like I'm gonna rate this current year, my fourth year, even though I'm done. Like I'm gonna give it like a 7.5. Like there's
Really?
like a fair number of like positives that like came out. I kind of like started realizing like that I want to like do more with like my hobbies and stuff, like working on like music, and like kind of like being more fit. Like I started biking like so much, and like I don't know, just being more like, I don't know, like not as like crazy like a wild lifestyle, but still like having fun and like being active and like doing things that I love without like worrying about like what other people like think and stuff. So like for me, honestly, this year is like a slow like uptrend from like worse university years, which is why like 7.5 or like 8, 7.5, 8.
That's sick.
Like it's honestly like really good,
mean,
and I'm hoping next year like it's even better. You know, if I get to go to France, graduate, find like a really cool job, you never know. But for me, this current year was, even though COVID really sucks, and it did suck during the year doing online, waking up early. Honestly, overall, it was a really like good year.
That's good, dude. I mean, so your university went from like it was just an upward trend. Then.
Yeah, I'd say
years got
it
better
was
and
like
better.
yeah. So like I don't know, like 5, 6, 6.5. Third year was like a 6.5 as well, and then fourth year was like 7.5. To be honest, that's honestly like pretty good, slow uptrend, and hopefully make the last year the best. So we'll see.
Well, let's hope so, dude. Let's hope France blesses you because, man.
Yeah, hopefully, because university honestly is like an important part of, well, whoever does university. I think it's a very important part of everyone who's in university's life, like whoever goes and does that process. Like it kind of is like a big part of like defining like what you're gonna do for the rest of your life. Well, obviously.
Oh yeah, and who you're gonna be
you're
too,
gonna
just like personality
you know, like,
wise.
also like who you're gonna like associate yourself around with for the most part. Like, because post grad, like you're kind of like you're in a little like in a tight place to like, you know, like like socialize, restart. You can, of course, but like a lot of people don't, and like it's kind of like life kind of starts to like plateau almost. I don't know. Maybe that sounds crazy because like you're so young still. You're like 22, but like for a lot of people, I feel like it's kind of starting to, and like there's always time, but like you never know. So that's why like for me, like hopefully this last year is like really good because like I don't want it to like my life to plateau, and like I want to like do so much, especially with like I feel like we lost 2 years because of COVID, to be honest. Like so.
Well, yeah, COVID is not.
I'm gonna definitely live my life in my mid-20s, even late 20s. Like,
I'm
not
for sure.
like any like settling down ideas I may have had, like are definitely gonna be pushed back because I need to like I have this idea that or like this. I just want to like I just want to like get back those 2 years that we lost, you know? Like literally doing things like traveling, going to like concerts, clubs, bars, anything, honestly. Anything normal.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly. Dude, you ever play an MMO before? Like World of Warcraft or something?
You know, I'd played a little bit when I was like a little younger, World of Warcraft, but I didn't play for long.
But do you understand?
I do understand the idea.
Do you understand like the layout of the game?
I don't know if Skyrim counts. I played that.
You know, Skyrim doesn't count.
I don't even know. I barely play video. I don't play video games anymore.
Okay, so basically why I bring it up, super nerdy thing to say right now, but I don't care because it's kind of true. It's like if you ever play an MMO, you know that it starts with like the leveling process. Yeah. So you start at level 0, obviously, and then you level to like level 60 or whatever. In World of Warcraft, it's level 60. And then, so like that's when you're doing all the questing, that's when you're doing whatever. And it kind of holds your hand through the game. Once you reach level 60, you're kind of on your own. It doesn't really hold your hand anywhere, and that's when like the real game starts. That's when like the whole reason like people love the game and keep coming back to it, and like all the raids and all the dungeons and all the missions and stuff that you can do. That's when the game starts. That's not just World of Warcraft. That's like any MMO. There's like a leveling system. Then that's pretty much it.
Okay.
The reason I bring it up is because when you were talking, that's kind of like life. Dude, think about it. The schooling is like you're leveling through life, right? It kind of holds your hand through it. It's kind of basic, you know, repetitive, doing the same stuff over and over, you know, whatever. And then once you graduate university or graduate high school, whatever the end of school is for you, you're kind of just like, this is when life starts. This is when what everybody loves about life begins. And there's no more holding your hand. You just kind of wake up one day and you're like, what do I do now? I'm kind of just like on my own to figure it out.
No, yeah, and that's why
go through it.
Exactly. And that's why with like when I think about like you and like
and it's
other
crazy.
Friends who've like graduated like this year, like I'm kind of a little bit like intimidated. It's like because a lot of them are just like done, like, and they're like, okay, what next? And I'm like, because you're just so used to like having this like staged process, and you're like going through it, but then like when you like are done, you like exit that thing. That's why people go back to school, you know, they go to masters because they're like scared or like they want to do it, obviously, but like you're kind of just like in this place and you're like, okay, so like it's kind of like now like it's like
a lack of direction as well.
And you're kind of like sitting there and you're like, what do I want to do? What am I gonna do? It's kind of crazy, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, masters, hey man, like I don't know, if you want to do that, go for it. To me, it's not worth the money. Nor is university, but that's a conversation for another time. It's a lot of money for a very, very great. It's a great experience, but at least like if you're being a lawyer or like a doctor or something, like holy shit, like okay, go to university. You have to, makes sense. But like if you're you and I don't know about your experience and like what you're learning in school, but as a business, it's basically like it's called Global Business and Digital Arts, but it's more or less just a business course. There's very little digital arts to it, and it's Even the digital arts that's in it is still like, oh, it's like surface level Photoshop stuff you could easily just YouTube. So that's stupid. So it's mainly business. And it's like, dude, I'm paying like tens of thousands of dollars. Well, I'm not. I'm very blessed like you to have my grandfather pay for it. So thank God for him. But for most people don't have that.
A lot of people,
and so you're going to be dropping.
A lot of people have to figure out other ways to pay.
You're going to be dropping tens of thousands of dollars to acquire an education that is so surface level and so basic. And it's like, oh my God, dude, like, how could you want to go, like, masters, I guess, is different because that's when it's a lot more, like, honed in.
It's also more research based, and you're like very, and
yeah,
it's for people that are like more like, I guess, like they really want to understand and like kind of like create their own, like utilize their own like learnings and like things that they've kind of like skills they've acquired and like create this like this new idea within like a certain topic or something. It seems like, honestly, I've thought about it a lot, and like I don't know if it's for me, to be honest, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. And you could finish your degree there at York and then be like, the career that I really am now all of a sudden interested in that I never even thought existed, it requires me to have a master's, or like is better if I have a master's, because that could happen too, where like all of a sudden you have this massive career shift into something that you never maybe even thought that you'd be in, and then you're like, oh well, actually getting a master's would be a very, very good idea. Dude, you could one day wake up and be like, I want to start my own business.
Yeah.
I want a master's to be able to know how to start this business properly and get a business or a master's in like marketing or something.
Yeah, exactly. But honestly, like that's just something that I'm not really thinking about at the moment, and obviously you're not either.
Yeah, you don't have to either.
And
no,
everyone has different desires and things they want to do, but for me, like my main goal is just to finish school and then start hopefully working, and then just kind of regaining back those lost years of like normal life, if that ever can happen.
Yeah, my goal right now, get a job.
Yeah.
Because, I want the audience to know, I want to preface to the audience, I had a job for the last 2 years, and then I wasn't fired, but they let me go just for internal whatever reasons. I literally begged them to give me a reason as to why I was let go, and they were like, literally, you did nothing wrong, it's just the way we're restructuring the role. And I was like, sick. Can I like reapply when I graduate university? And I'm no longer, because like it had to do with me being part-time because I was still in school, but I was working part-time, and they were like, yeah, bro, you can reapply when you graduate. So I've been doing that. It's a struggle. Anyways.
Yeah. No. And
goal right now, get a job,
Yeah.
Party. Have fun.
Yeah, exactly. We're still young. People are like putting too much pressure on themselves. We're 21, 22 years old. There's a lot of life to live.
Yeah.
We're not
like
professional
right now,
athletes, we're not like midway through like a career or something. We're not.
Yeah.
There's so much time to figure things out.
Yeah, and I'm like, obviously, like right now, depending on who's listening to this, you probably know. I mean, you obviously, Nathan, know, but you, the audience, may or may not know that like I do want to become an influencer, content creator. I think that's so sick, being able to like create, like build an audience and like get to know them and have this community that you can talk to and just relate to, and kind of the bunch of group of people that just kind of have your back. Like that's sick. And like creating content is so much fun for me and stuff. So that is like my end goal, and something that is just kind of, I treat it as a hobby now, just because it's hard, especially nowadays, to fully commit to it because of how tough it is to grow on social media. It's super hard to grow. So it's, even if you put your full time into it, it's still like you're not necessarily going to get a direct reward from the amount of time you put into it. So I'm just treating it as a hobby. That's my end goal. But my goal right now, dude, is just, get a job, make some money, and have fun with my money. Like, that's it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And those are like honestly good goals. Like there's no requirement to have like this set plan, but as long as you're happy and doing what you love, I think that's the most important thing, especially at this age.
And people stress so much about like the future. It's like, let's relax. Let's slow down and enjoy the world around us and the current moment that we're in. I know it sounds like really super cliche and super dumb, but no, it's true.
It is.
I feel like a lot of people
like even this, yeah.
especially our age, they get like people are getting. I feel like people are getting midlife crises, like earlier and earlier every generation. They're getting, you know, like you think people when they were our. I mean, maybe they did. You think boomers when they were our age were worried about like their future? Nah, bro, they were shooting up cocaine and having a blessed time of their life.
Yeah, probably, probably. But I mean, like, no, that's really true, especially now. Like, we keep talking about the pandemic, but like, literally, like the things that we did before and like we took for granted are gonna be way more important.
It's crazy,
now,
bro.
Especially once things are, I don't know, normal, quote normal, end quote. Like,
as about as normal as they can get at
who
this
knows
point.
what's gonna happen, because like before you just do things and you wouldn't even notice, but and like we never really went through, our generation never really went through something like this significant, I guess, that we were like old enough to experience. Obviously, like our parents went through like the '08 like crisis and like other things, but like
Y2K.
yeah, but like but honestly, this is like our first thing that we're kind of like really aware, and like it's really affecting us, you know, like especially like just everything going on. And once things get back to normal or some form of normal, I'm not going to take like these little things for granted. I'm going to do as much as I can. I'm never going to be like as hesitant as I was, because like you honestly never know. You really don't.
Yeah. It's best to just play life by ear. That's kind of the best way you can live life, because if you spend too much time stressing about the future, you're going to spend all that time when you could have just spent that time enjoying the moment that you're in.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, like, man, think about it this way. Not one time in history has somebody stressing over something added a year to their life. Like, you know what I mean? What's the point of stress, bro?
Nothing.
It's not going to benefit you in any way.
Nothing.
Just calm down, relax, take a chill pill. Everything's going to be all right.
I know. And like sometimes you get stuck in like these little like in the now phases where you're like, damn, like I failed an exam, like my life's over, or like this assignment is so hard, like I'm not going to be able to finish it, or like something else in your life is going on. But in like the grand scheme, and like I feel like honestly, like I rated that like last year as like, or this year as well, as like kind of like my best, like one of my best years, well, in terms of university, and also like for like my personal growth, like understanding like and like kind of stepping back and looking at the grand scheme of life and being like, okay, like a failed test, or like I don't know, something bad, some little like inconvenience, or something that feels so super devastating, like in the long run isn't gonna matter. Like it sucks now, but in a year or two, like you're not gonna worry about that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you fail a test, man. You hand in an assignment late. Like, dude, that's one thing that I learned. I mean, I've never been the kind of guy to like super stress over school, just because I don't know. That's just not me. I just don't ever really get super stressed. But like one thing that I've learned, especially, is like, dude, prioritize your mental health. Like, it's not something you can take for granted, because once it's gone, it's gone. Once you messed up your brain and your mental health, it's kind of hard to fix. It's not as easy to just bounce back. It's not as easy to fix as it is to destroy. So like,
that's true.
I said, and like I in my last video, I was talking about like 3 different mindsets that I wish I made going into university, and one of them was talking about how like don't prioritize your mental health. That was the tip, and it was don't be afraid to like hand something in late, bro. One night what are you gonna do? Stay up till like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. doing this thing, and then you're dog tired the next day. You've screwed up your freaking sleep schedule, and now you're physically ill as well as probably mentally ill. And for one assignment that's worth what, 5% of your grade, where you could just hand it in and take that day to calm down and like take an extra day, hand it in late. You get maybe 10% off of your mark on that one assignment, except now you're healthier. Like, it's the people that care so much about school it rattles me to the core because
I
it's
mean,
like,
yeah, like
dude,
it's circumstantial, obviously, but in like the long run, it is very for some things it can be stressful. I won't deny that, and like there are certain
mm,
things that are really stressful about school, but for
yeah, of
sure,
course.
like yeah, little things like that, it's really in the long run, it's not gonna matter, and like obviously it's hard, like, but I think like maybe like wrapping this whole thing up, this whole like conversation about like
Mm,
school and whatever, um, like for me, like if I was gonna tell someone coming into university, like one thing is definitely yeah, like just enjoy it because like it's such like
once it's gone, it's
yeah,
gone.
it's like and you hear it from so many people. It's such a
Because it's
cliche
true.
thing, you know. You hear everyone like all these adults being like, enjoy university life, like enjoy it, because like when
Yeah.
it's done, and you're like starting life. And people like, I heard that when I was going into high school from like a lot of my family members and like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
relatives and older friends, and I was like, yeah, like whatever, you know, like it's for like
Yeah.
who knows, like who do you know, like what do you know, right? Like but like
Yeah.
for real, and like my university experience, I always like to like consider it as like very unique compared to like the typical like experience, and that's not always
Yeah.
for the good, and also it's not always for the bad either. It was just different.
Mm-hmm.
But like definitely just enjoy what you can, like make the most out of it, because it's really like a big defining moment of your life. You're going from like 18 to 22, like those years like are
Yeah.
really really
Those are
important, and like
huge.
your development as like a character and like a person, those are like some of
Yeah.
the most important years. And whether or not you're in university or not, like in general, those years are just like so important. Like they kind of like shape who
Yeah.
you are, and like slowly like you start like changing less and less and less, because you're like starting
Yeah.
to like feel comfortable and like set in a certain like way or a lifestyle or a mindset. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just go in. If I'm telling someone, just go in, enjoy university, and like make the most out of it. Like don't be afraid to
Yeah.
like just step out of like a comfort zone, do something weird. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like I didn't
Nah.
join any
Yeah.
clubs in university, but honestly, because like I was at a very small school, but like if I had gone to a larger school, 100% I would have tried to like be a part of
Mm-hmm.
something. I joined like like intramurals, but
Yeah.
even that is like just do something that's like fun for you, you know, like do something
Yeah.
to enjoy that experience.
No, I would give literally the exact same advice. Like, if I were to wrap this whole thing up, one piece of advice, same exact thing, bro. Take advantage of this 4 years. Take the time to like go outside your comfort zone, develop as a person, and get super comfortable with who you are and in your body, and um, just use the opportunity to become who you want to be. And don't be afraid to go outside your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to what's it called? Yeah, just take advantage of this opportunity, dude, because it literally sounds as cliche as it gets, but once it's gone, it's gone, and there is no experience like university.
Not at all. Whether it's like good, bad, a lot of both, little, or like
Mm-hmm.
you're just studying, you're stressed, I don't know. Obviously it
Yeah,
depends on the program,
exactly.
but like literally just make the most out of it, because in the end you're going to look back and be like, yeah, that's like that was such a big part of my life. Like even though it's 4 years, it really is a big part. And like
Mm-hmm.
I know I had talked about like
Yeah.
how in the grand scheme like little things don't matter, but like for me personally, and I'm sure for a lot of people, that like university is like very important, especially if you choose to go. Like yeah, just make the most out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean that's about it, I guess. We're an hour and 20 in.
Yeah.
Holy crap. We were talking before this about whether we wanted to go for like
We were like,
30 or
yeah, you
40
want to do
minutes, bro.
30, 40.
We almost tripled that. So, hey man, it's a good conversation. I had a great time. You know, this was sick.
No, this is great.
Hopefully, bro,
This is
hopefully we
really
can
good.
do this every week. That would be sick.
Yeah, I'm hoping as
Um,
well. And like honestly, there's just so much that like I think that like can be talked about, especially for like people around our age.
Oh yeah,
things that like we like.
for sure.
There's like so much going on. Like I don't know, I could name anything off the top of my head, but there's so much that we can definitely talk about. University just
Yeah.
was like one of the things, obviously, because you and me have
Yeah,
been
well, that was the
through it,
biggest
and,
thing
like,
that I
yeah,
know
and we've been through that.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about.
And I'm still going through it, and it's such a big part of a lot of people our age's lives. And no, I think there's so much more to talk about. Let's keep on doing this.
Oh, for sure, dude. Hopefully people enjoy this, man. I hope I don't get a lot of hate in the comments for this.
Hate or not, I mean, like, we're just trying to like share our experience.
We're just trying to have fun.
Our
here.
experiences, our interests, and like hopefully people can relate. You know, like for me, like university was a little bit hard in terms of like social and like classes and situations. Like it's different. For you, it was like super great. You know, like I wouldn't say mine was horrible, but like obviously could be better. And for you, it was a great time. You met so many people, and there's gonna be people on both sides of the spectrum, maybe even worse, even better than you.
Yeah.
Right in the middle. Like as long as like people can like find something they can relate, that's what really is important.
Yeah, as long as you don't regret doing it, then I'd say it was worth doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to end the podcast there, I guess.
Yeah, till next time.
Thank you so much for listening. Hey, if you made it all the way through, yo, you a real one, and I appreciate you. Anything you want to say?
Well, yeah. If you're not subscribed already, sub to this guy's channel. He's
dude, sub to the channel. We have amazing content coming to the channel here.
No, he's doing a great job. You know, like pursue your passions.
Thank you, man.
This is for everyone as well. Just pursue your passions. He's been doing his for so long, before I met him even, and
I've been grinding, bro.
And you know what? Like it's
hard, dude.
It's really important that you have something in life that it's kind of like your hobby, your passion, your anchor a little bit, your stability. Because like in this crazy world, man, like for me, I always tell people like have something that you can just do that you can
fall back on.
You know makes you happy. Because like honestly, I can't imagine living a life without having like anything that I enjoy doing. Like I need something. But yeah, honestly,
yeah, exactly.
No, like I'm honestly honored. Like we've been talking about this podcast thing for so long, and we're finally doing it. It's fun, and
I know, dude. We had this plan since like April.
I know, but we're finally doing it, and yeah, we're hopefully gonna do some more episodes because honestly, this was a good time. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys have any podcast topics, feel free to comment them down below. Feel free to reach out to us on Instagram. I don't know.
Yeah,
if you want to. My Instagram is in the comment section. I mean, I'm probably gonna try to put this on like iTunes and SoundCloud as well, because I know a lot of people have complained. I've made podcasts in the past that were not successful, and people have complained of like, I want to listen to this and not have to have YouTube open. I want to be able to like put it on as a normal podcast and listen to it while I do something. So I'm obviously gonna throw it up on my YouTube channel, but I'm also gonna try to throw it up on iTunes and SoundCloud and maybe Spotify. I don't know. We'll see.
We can figure something out.
That information, if you're listening to this on YouTube, that information will be in the description. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel grow. Any last things you want to say, Nathan?
Honestly, I think we can really figure it out, getting it on all the platforms. Like that shouldn't be an issue. And the more we do this, this is our first episode. We're kind of a little bit playing it a little by ear, the first episode. But once we kind of get into the groove of things, things will be easier and we can figure that out. But yeah,
for sure. All right. Well, this was great. We will see you guys hopefully on the next episode. We'll see you then. Peace.